Hey everyone, welcome to a new video here on my channel. My name is Zaira and I post mainly art and drawing videos, so if you'd like to watch more, be sure to check out my channel and subscribe. Today I will be showing you 4 artworks that I created back in 2019 as something like a throwback. If you've watched my previous video, I mentioned how I found a bunch of videos in my archive that I filmed, but for some unknown weird reason, I never edited nor did I upload them. However, now that I've found them, they'll finally be uploaded here onto my channel, and this is going to be one of those videos. The artworks in this video will be a fan art of the K-pop boy group named EXO. So let's get started. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. If you want to learn a new skill, improve an already existing skill, or just check out a bunch of creative activities, Skillshare is definitely the perfect place for you. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people that are always looking to learn and improve. I definitely think that it's perfect for aspiring artists and illustrators who want to master their craft. So, if you're looking to learn how to draw portraits similar to what I'm doing in this video, then I highly recommend watching Anne Shen's introduction to painting portraits with gouache, where she takes you through tips and tricks in how to paint different parts of the face as well as the hair in one of my favorite mediums, gouache. I do recommend that you give Skillshare a go using the special link in the description box, where the first 1,000 people to sign up using that link will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare Premium. That's 1 month free trial of Skillshare Premium. After a month, you can continue your membership for less than $10 a month if you pay annually, which is still a pretty good deal. So that gives you unlimited access to all of their available classes. So I highly recommend that you check them out. Once again, that's the first 1,000 people to sign up using the link will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare Premium. So check it out, get started, and good luck with your creative journey. So let me just start off by saying that unfortunately, I only filmed 4 out of the 9 members of EXO and the fan art that I created for each member. So if you don't see a video process of your bias from EXO in this video, that's because unfortunately I didn't film it. The video does not exist. There never was and never will be. So please don't go in the comments asking where that video is for this specific person, because unfortunately it never existed in the first place. And I have absolutely no idea why I didn't actually film all 9 of them, especially because I started with filming 4. I don't remember what the reason was, but I'm sure there was a reason. However, in this video, there will only be 4 members that are highlighted in video form. The rest will kind of be in a slideshow towards the end of the video. So as you can see right now, I'm starting off with Sehun, and then the rest are going to be Chanyeol, Chen, and Suho. Like I said, at the end of the video, I will be showing all 9 of the members together in some sort of slideshow because I only have photos of the remaining 5 members. So yeah, I also posted them on Instagram though, so feel free to check that out. However, you might have to scroll a bit back because like I said, this was all the way back in 2019. But anyway, I feel like this gives me the opportunity to talk about the artworks that I created back in 2019 when I was still actually trying to draw as much as I could. However, I was not as active here on YouTube. So if you kind of scroll onto my channel and look at the collection of videos that I have uploaded over the years, I was mostly active from 2015 to 2017, and then 2018 and 2019 there's like a gap in my documentation of my art journey, which is kind of the whole point as to why I started this YouTube channel in the first place, was mostly to document my process and then kind of share it. And eventually people were interested enough to ask me how I specifically did things, and so that led on to tutorials and basically sharing more and more of my art process. However, I can be a little bit particular when it comes to organization, and whenever I look at the collection of videos that I have here on my YouTube channel, it bothers me a little bit that there is a gap. So I guess this is like a flashback of sorts and a way for me to fill in and fix that gap. During this year, I was feeling very experimental and somewhat brave. Like, if you've been following my art, my channel, and my videos, you may have noticed that my art barely had any color. And it was mostly because even though I had some knowledge of color theory, I was still really scared of utilizing that knowledge, of stepping outside my comfort zone, or even breaking some of the rules of color theory. I always pretty much played it safe. And I also had a really strong bias towards specific colors. Like, for a while, I was really against using green and orange in my artworks. I tended to favor red, blue, and yellow, and purple, browns, and black and white. So a lot of my art, you may notice, especially before 2019, was either like black and white with a pop of color, or it's just completely monochromatic, different shades of one color, or I would use complementary colors, just two of them, and that would be my limited color palette. So those were kind of my safe zones. And those colors as well, they were very much muted. I wouldn't really say pastel, but they weren't bright or saturated. They weren't fun in a way, and they weren't in your face either. I have tried creating other pieces where I did use a bit more color, but those weren't actually my favorite works. During those times, my favorite were the monochromatic ones and the black and white ones. So around 2019, after years of using just those safe colors, I finally decided that it was time for me to spice things up. I was also really heavily inspired by the new and trendy colors that were coming during that time. Like, for example, mustard yellow was becoming really popular. The grip that it had on everyone, especially here on YouTube and artists, is just amazing. And then I also fell in love with like this dark teal and of course burnt orange, which came a little bit later, but colors that were just not something that I would ever grab, but I was instantly drawn towards them when they got introduced as trends. So that definitely kickstarted the whole experimentation. And so I started looking into maximalist interior designs, which was the total opposite of what I was into back in 2017, which was more minimalism. But maximalist interiors were largely influenced by a range of color palettes that clashed with each other. Like, the textures were so different, the prints also kind of clashed in a way, and there were just a bunch of items here and there that it looked a bit messy, but at the same time, it also looked really cohesive and also really aesthetically pleasing. And that was quite puzzling to me, but also really intriguing. So that largely influenced the new color palette and the artworks that I ended up creating during this time. I also wanted to eventually emulate this sort of aesthetic, but since I was heavily focused on experimenting with this new saturated and vibrant color palette, I decided to dial back down on the subject matter. Whereas, for example, back in 2017, I was so much more interested in exploring concepts and themes and trying to create a narrative in my artwork, therefore exploring different kinds of subject matter other than just a bust or a portrait of a pretty person. But because in 2019 I was kind of going outside my comfort zone, I decided to grab onto something that felt safe. And so that's why I decided to only draw portraits during that time. It was something I was comfortable and confident in drawing. So that kind of balanced my whole journey. And it allowed me to focus more on the colors rather than the difficulty of drawing complicated objects. There is a downside to that, however, which I've mentioned in a lot of videos already about my internal struggle of I'm feeling kind of bored now that I've been doing this for a while. So I guess now is the part of the cycle of my journey where I feel like I need to change things up, similar to what I did this year. And hopefully I will also be documenting that throughout my channel, so stay tuned. But anyway, that brings us back to the artworks in this video. 2018 was the start of my love for K-pop. It all started with Lisa from Blackpink. The moment I saw her photo on Instagram, I was like, who is this person? I need to know why she's here on my feed, and I need to find out more about her. But eventually, it started from Blackpink, and then I found my way to D.O. from EXO, mostly because of his amazing voice. So then, of course, that spiraled me into looking at more songs from K-pop and then watching a bunch of videos, and I was hooked. So the dancing, the trendy yet outlandish outfits, and extremely high quality aesthetic music videos really solidified my love for K-pop. It was just a lot of creative food for my brain, and it was a feat for the eyes and the creative mind. And K-pop still continues to inspire me today, especially now that I am studying costume and set design for stage, which also includes stage design. So I hope one day to design a comeback stage for a K-pop group. That would be a dream. But anyway, back to the drawing. Like I was saying, I was also really into K-pop, and I was also experimenting with colors, so then I just combined that. And basically this is a fan art of my favorite K-pop boy group, EXO, and also practicing my skills in capturing likeness, but also playing around with the newly found color palette. And my approach with these artworks were basically inspired by photo cards, which, oh my god, it's such a big thing in the K-pop world. Like, I've watched videos of people buying multiple albums just to find one photo card of their bias in a specific pose, and I've also seen people on Twitter trading and reselling photo cards, and also people making their own photo cards. It's like a whole thing in itself, and it's so interesting. And at first it was a weird concept for me because, you know, like, can't you just look at the photo of this idol on your phone or something? Why do you need a specific physical object? But once I got my hands on a photo card, I knew, like, it's an unexplainable feeling, and it's very much different from just looking at a photo on your screen. It's unexplainable. But anyways, I've only actually ever come across this concept in K-pop. I'm not sure if it exists in other music industries, but this was certainly my first time ever hearing about it. But anyway, I took inspiration from that, so the fan art that I ended up creating, especially the one that you see in this video, kind of is trying to resemble photo cards. However, it is also very much inspired by K-pop photo shoots, like how they take one concept and, oh my gosh, the concept that they have, so creative. Anyway, they have one concept, and all of these idols in one group are styled to fit the concept so that altogether they look cohesive, but at the same time, all their individualities shine through as well with each photo, and it's just amazing. It was another thing that visually inspired me, and I absolutely love looking at them. It's just so beautiful, so inspiring. And like I said, that's how I ended up with this series of drawings. I tried to kind of recreate as if these were like photo shoots or photo cards where each one is a portrait of a member of EXO. I decided to use stripes for the backgrounds because honestly, I can't really remember my reasoning for that, but I was heavily inspired by stripes, mostly because of the color palette, I believe. And then I also added the flower crowns, which was still pretty popular back in the day, 2019. And then I also added an item that I associated with them that was cute, mostly inspired by images of their concerts, which unfortunately I've never been to one, but then also juxtaposed with their more sultry, edgy outfits and some of the concepts that they also are quite known for. And tried to merge that all together and basically created these fan arts. And that's how we got here. I'm actually really happy with how the artworks turned out for this series. Like, my goal was to create 9 portraits because there are currently 9 active members in EXO. And I ended up with 9 portraits. So, yeah, and all of them I'm really happy with. I feel like I achieved likeness for majority of them. I think Suho is the only one that I would be like, I'm not sure if that really looks like him. But everyone else, I feel like if you look at them, you might be able to recognize them. So I'm pretty happy with that. Also happy the fact that I just finished 9 drawings. Like, I had enough determination to actually see it through because from my history, I tend to start like a series or a collection of sorts and never finish them. So I'm really happy that this is an exception because I absolutely love EXO, and I would have been devastated if I started and then not draw the rest of the members. Like, I feel like that would just be so unfair. And I think that's definitely what pushed me to finish all 9 drawings. The only thing I'm disappointed in is the fact that I didn't film all of them. However, I'm still happy that I have 4 in my archive that I can look back on and reminisce and see my process for them. So still okay with that. And that's pretty much it for this video. I'm just going to end this with a slideshow of all of the artworks that I created for each of the members. So please take them in all of their glory. Really happy and really proud with how they turned out, and I hope that you like them as well, especially if you are a fan of EXO. And if you are, let me know in the comments down below who your bias is, your favorite song, anything like that. I'm pretty sure I said it already in this video that my bias is Dio, so yes, he's my bias. Who's yours? Anyway, with that said, I will end today's video. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Share this video to fellow artists, and thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best of luck with your art journey, and I will see you in my next one.